Hi, my name is Linda. I am from Sarasota, Florida, and my sobriety date is June 21st, 1981. I attended my first AA meeting on that date in Washington, D.C., and I have not found it necessary to pick up a drink or a drug since my very first AA meeting. And that's by the grace of God, and also through a lot of getting myself up and going to meetings when I didn't feel like it, calling people when I didn't really want to, showing up and doing service work. And when I first got sober, I was not a smoker at all, have never been, and yet my service work was cleaning ashtrays, but I did it willingly because I felt a part of having a service position. At my very first AA meeting, the speaker was Anne, and her son Wynn was celebrating 1 year of sobriety. And I never saw them again after that evening until 16 months later when I bumped into them again, and Wynn and I hit it off, and we started dating, got engaged, got married, had 2 kids, and it was really wonderful being married to another alcoholic. It was just another reason to join another 12-step program, too. I'm also the daughter of an alcoholic, and now I can say the mother of an alcoholic. Everybody gets sober in AA, and that's really wonderful. I was living at home with my parents when I got sober, and I knew my dad would love AA if only he would try it. And I would broach this idea with my sponsor again and again, and my sponsor said, "You're going to have to move out of the house. You cannot stay in that house. And you've got to focus on your own recovery and not on your dad's." But I would leave my little 24-hour day book out and underline the grapevine and leave it in places where he might find it, in his bathroom, on the kitchen table, by his TV chair. Finally, there was a celebrity that was coming to speak at our home group, and I said, "Hey, Dad, guess who's coming to our home group?" And I told him the guy's name, and he said, "Wow, that's going to be a funny story." I said, "Sure will be. How about if you come? December 15th, 1981. And he said, "All right, I'll go." So that night I made him this great dinner, and he came home from work, and I said, "Okay, here's your dinner, and you ready to go?" And he said, "Oh, Linda, I'm tired. I don't feel like going tonight. I had a rough day at work." And I was still a really good liar my first 6 months of sobriety. So I burst into tears and I said, "Dad, I paid $35 for your ticket to this meeting. You have to go." And he said, "What? Can't you sell that ticket?" And I said, "No, everybody already bought them. I can't sell the ticket." So he said, "Oh gosh, all right, I'll go," because my dad's a Yankee. He would never waste $35. And we went to the meeting, and all the men in the group were lying in wait for my dad. And they scooped him up, and they talked to him, and it was just wonderful. It was everything I could imagine, everything I could have hoped for as a not really recovering yet Al-Anon. So we came home that night, and I said, "Hey, Dad, tomorrow night we go to Haymarket, and we go to a fish restaurant first, and you're really going to love it. So much fun." He said, "What are you talking about? I'm not going to another meeting." And I said, "Yeah, you have to go," because I was naive. I thought everybody was like me. You go to one AA meeting, it's like the mob. You go to the meeting, you're in. You don't get out. It's a life thing. So he said, I'm not an alcoholic. I might have some tendencies, but I'm not." So December 15th, I started to cry. Every time my dad looked at me, I cried. Every time I looked at him, I cried. Finally, he said to me, "Oh my God, what's it going to take to make you stop crying?" I said, "Will you go to AA?" And he said, "All right, I'll go." And I said, "Every day for 90 days. And he said, "I can't go every day for 90 days. I'm busy. I work. I'm traveling." I said, "You have to, Dad. It's the rules. You can't break the rules." So he said, "Oh my God, all right, I'll go." And he did go. He went to 180 meetings in 90 days because just like I thought he would, he loved it. And it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful to live my life in sobriety, having my dad also in sobriety. We had lunch together at least once a week. We frequently went to meetings together. We went to conventions together. My dad died sober 36 years in AA. And that's a wonderful tribute. And it's a tribute not only to the program and to my dad, but also to my daughter. She's been in and out of the program. I joined when she was 3 years old. And that was 37 years ago. She's been in and out. And someday I hope she'll come in and stick with it. But that's her business, not mine, because now I have a black belt in Al-Anon, and I know how to detach with love, and I do. She has her higher power just like I have mine, and I'm just as powerless over her use of alcohol as I am over mine. You know, my husband that I met was killed in an accident when I was almost 15 years sober, and that was very difficult at the time to cope with. And thank God I had my children, and I had to help them get through it. And I had the support of every single person in my AA group, and it wasn't just my home group. It was every single person in Sarasota AA that knew what had happened, showed up for me to help me. I've given talks all over. I was giving a talk in Oregon, and somebody came up and said what a strong person I was and what great sobriety I must have. And I told them I was not strong. I was a basket case. It's the people in AA that have carried me through the toughest times of my life. And I'm always and forever grateful for that.